And as we normally do here at Empathy Workouts, we're opening with a little icebreaker question. Hopefully you caught it up on the screen, but if you didn't, I'll read it out loud. It's, what's your zodiac sign, and do you feel like it resonates with you? A little easy one to get us all engaging right off the bat. So who's feeling brave? Who wants to come off the mic, tell us where you're calling in from, and answer the little icebreaker? Donna.
Hi.
Veteran. Thank you, Donna, for taking this on with the team. I'm going to see if we could get one or two more before. So where are you calling in from today?
Yeah, I'm calling in from Raleigh, North Carolina. Open the door here for everybody else to give this a try. I'm a Gemini. I've got a June birthday, and I definitely feel like a Gemini in terms of I feel like multiple facets of who I am, my identity, my personality. They can be quite opposite. One sometimes can be more dominant than the other, but I do really feel like I got that kind of twin thing going on inside me. So
amazing. Nice. I've got another little peek into the world that is Donna. Thank you, Donna. Thank you for leading off. I see Lionel, who's a newcomer to the Actually Curious community, but a really important part of my life. He's got his hand raised. So Lionel, why don't you introduce yourself to the community? Let us know where you're calling in from, and then let us know your zodiac sign and whether it resonates with you or not.
Cool. Hey, Michael. Hey, I'm Lionel Church, and I'm calling in from Vermont, Killington, Vermont, up in the mountains. And I'm a Leo, and it definitely resonates for me. Leos are supposed to be outgoing and gregarious, enjoy connecting with people, and sometimes sort of showy. And I definitely work with, I definitely see all of that in myself at times.
Lionel, what a treat. I did not know that about you. Lionel and I are in a men's group together and we meet every week, but I didn't know that about you, and I can see it. Someone in the chat called you a mountain Leo.
I like that.
All right. Anyone else before I put the spotlight on Synead? Anyone else want to join in on the opening warm up?
I guess I'll answer it since I'm going up next.
All right, you take it from here. I'm backing off from here, Sid.
I'm a Cancer. The Cancer sun. Hey, I see you. Cancer sun, Gemini rising, Aquarius moon. And the Aquarius is out there. I love you all deeply, my heart. Thank you for being here. Thank you for that question. Come on, Cancer descendant. Synead, I see you, girl. Thank you for being here, everyone, this Sunday. Super excited to jump right into the mix with Phoenix Rising. Where are you? I can't see you on my screen because I'm on my phone.
Hi, how are you?
There she is. Hi. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. I'm so happy to be here. You guys are so wonderful. This is a new community for me to see, and I love that you're growing it as you do. Just that icebreaker question will say, I'm a Libra. There you go. I'm a Libra. I'm a Libra. And I think, as a matter of fact, this full moon is in Libra.
It is. It's in my 5th house.
Yep. And I am, let's talk about up in Killington, sir. I am rising Leo. So I have a lot of Leo going on. And I also channel from the Lyran Council, which is, they are the lion people, like the lion heads and the man bodies. It's just like, that's a big part of the work that I do. So loving the Leo, but the Libra, huge and really big for me in my life, because thank God for me, I have the balance.
Yeah.
All I can say is thank God. Thank God. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Come on, Libra. Thank you again for joining us this morning and this afternoon or this evening, depending on where everyone is. Like we said, let's jump right into it. Tell us who you are, where you're from,
Yes.
and what you do.
My name, of course, is Phoenix Rising, and that is actually my legal name. I was not born with that name, but through the many iterations, I was in foster and I was adopted, and I had a lot of names and ideas and ideals about things that had nothing to do with who I really was, and I had to swim out and find who I was, and I became the work through my life and through what I do. We all do this. It's just many of us don't recognize that our life is actually the work. It's if you stop and recognize the traumas that you've been through and allow yourself to step out of the victimhood of it, like all that stuff, like, man, why'd you give me up at birth? Like, why, why was I brainwashed? Why was I sexually molested? Why was I like all of the things, why was my brother killed when he was 8? Why did I have to go through all of that stuff? That's the trauma that lives, in your heart. And then of course ends up living in your body, because that's what happens. All the trauma turns into the heartache. It breaks into the disease, into things. You're stuttering. You can't speak. You can't, you're not sitting in your posture. You're not able to breathe because you were scared and you lost your breath, and you're not, we're relearning, all of us as humanity, how to breathe again, and because we've just been shocked by all these things. And this whole thing is such a big part of what we're experiencing, and what I have chosen through my life to see from a child, to go, wow, these abandonment issues, what is that about? And oh, you mean I actually signed up for this? I actually chose this? And that always sounds like that rhetoric, it's like, oh, you signed up for it. And people are like, really? It does not help when you're going through shit. You're like, that's that. But you actually did. And one of the things that I do in the shamanic work and in the shamanic journey is taking people through past life regression and taking people on the journey. And it is so powerful when you see it, hear it, experience it, as opposed to someone who's, you go to, who's perhaps, reading your cards or reading, telling you, which is fine. It's all good. But the power is when you actually see it yourself. You experience it, because all the memories are there. Like nothing's been lost. Every single thing that you've gone through in this lifetime and in other lifetimes, even if you say don't believe it. So fascinating that people who are in this life going through a session or an experience, a journey with me or with other people, suddenly pop back and they go, why was I in the hills and, up in the Himalayas dressed like a monk, and all these monks, what is that? And they start to discover their Akashic record. They start to discover all of the memories that lie in the DNA. So for me, I came into this work because I was desperate to balance myself in my natural, zodiac state, to find balance and reason as to why this is happening and why I chose this and what I can do to transmute it and how I can help other people. So people, came to me as very young and, in school, and they just knew that I could feel what they were going through. And I didn't know that then, why people will come to me now, I know it now, is because, and we're talking about this today, you know, the empathy in the empathy workshop is because I actually embody the feeling in a real way. I get it. I feel your pain. I've been there. And I can look at you straight and you can feel my heart. So when you begin to live in that way, where you're not afraid to show what you've been through, but it doesn't keep re-injuring and injuring and injuring you, but you can go, wow, okay, this is what that was for. And now I can help you. And so I went through years studying in ancient Egyptian mystery school because I'm fascinated with history and where we've come from and why we're here and what all the secret meanings of all these things. I had some great mentors. I studied mastering alchemy for 7 years, which is about the mystery schools I studied with, and learning how to transmute and alchemy, which is learning how to change the frequency of thought, you know? So when you have certain thoughts, how do you transmute it? So you can bring that fear into love. You can bring that fear into compassion, into empathy. Like what moves you to be able to want to help people as opposed to just sitting there and going, wow, you know what? Yeah, kind of feeling for you. Yeah, but what's that next step? What moves you into action to go, can I help you? And not imposing yourself, because there are those people that go run around trying to help people and the people aren't asking. That's not useful. People have to be asked. However, if you hold a frequency and you live a certain way in your life in which people can see you and feel you, even if they don't know what you've been through, they're drawn. And many times that is the alchemy in itself, because it transmutes into whatever you're doing. I want to know there's a feeling you're carrying. And that is the alchemy. And then that's where the fear, it turns to curiosity, because curiosity is the mother of what I say. It sits in between fear and love, because if you're curious about something instead of shunning it, like you see somebody and like, yeah, I don't really like, we'll just call it what they're wearing just to make it easy. And then you back off and all that, those walls come up. But if you were like a child and you were like, man, he's wearing his pants all the way up to his knees and they're red, and he's got these yellow shoes. Like, I'm curious, like, why did you make that choice to come out of the house? Why did you do that? And he's like, wow, because I love this clown when I was little and I had this show and I wanted, and when every time I put this on, it makes me feel good and makes me happy. And then you go, wow, you know what, that's awesome. That's cool. Go ahead, be the clown. And then it moves you into a compassionate state instead of judgment, So these are the things. So I have been moved to study past great trauma. I'm a recording artist. I had a Billboard, top 10 Billboard hit in 2008. My recording name is Nai Moses. And I had worked very hard and long on this project. I went to performing arts school, et cetera, all these things. I bring you up to speed because I had to get on that stage. And my first performance, Chicago Theater, 3,000 people. I'm on the radio. All this stuff is happening. And I literally was scared to death. Like a month before, I was like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, I can't do this. And I'm like, oh. My producers are freaking out. People are going, you have really all this time? And I'm like, I don't know if I can. I just can't. What was it? Let's talk about the somatics. Because from the time when I was little, there's so many things that I wasn't able to express. I had a very heavy amount of brainwashing through my adoption. There was much racial bullying going on. My parents, out of just because they thought it would be better, I was adopted by 2 white parents, and they thought it would be better if they told me that I was white. And they put me into white schools way out in the country, and I was bullied and harassed. to a level where I had to leave, or to a level where the injuries that happened it kept me here, right? I couldn't express because my parents said, well, everything is fine. It's good. We're just going to go with that story. And I'm like, yeah, but you don't understand what's happening when I get out. But I couldn't say that because, of course, they're your parents, and your mode of survival for all of us as kids, as each one of you here know, that the biggest thing is just surviving. Your subconscious mind, all it wants to do is survive. So you will shut this off to survive and make sure you're accepted in the home. Just that's what we do. It's a primal thing. It's our primal thing. So in my part of my quadrant of the world, I shut my voice off because I wanted to be accepted. Iteration keep going. I now get to where I'm supposed to step on the stage, and guess what? It all settled here. Yeah, I'm singing, but not my real truth. And I didn't believe myself because I wasn't believed when I was little. And I knew that consciously, but subconsciously, you don't. And so it sat here. So my producer said, I was watching the Oprah show, and she had a hypnotherapist on. You need to go to hypnotherapy. Maybe it'll help you. And I'm telling you, in one session, thank God I went, because I was back there, Chicago Theater. I'll never forget it. I'm there looking at Prince's signature going, I don't, like all the signatures, the great artists who've been there. And I'm going, I'm here, but I don't really believe in me, because why would I? Why don't any of us? And so those exercises in hypnotherapy, reprogramming the subconscious mind. Thank God. And I sat there and I did it. And I was able to walk onto that stage. And I said, when I get off tour, I'm going to back round. And here's where that empathy, because I know that so many of us are going through the same thing, whatever it is that you're doing, you're not in your fullness. Guess what? I'm going to be able to help people. So I went around and I continued my studies. I had been studying spirituality and all sorts of things before, but I didn't have a tool per se that would help people actually move past and that alchemy, muting the fear and the blockages into the love of who you are. So I'm so happy to be doing this work. I have learned many beautiful modalities, and one of my things is really helping people learn to heal themselves through their hands. And I've studied with the great Japanese senseis, and this is the original Reiki. It's called Jikiden Reiki. I'm a Jikiden Reiki Shihankaku. It's a bit different than what you hear. The masters, the Japanese don't refer to themselves as masters because they say we're never mastering anything. So we're only learning. So in that, this is part of it, because when, again, you learn how to heal yourself, all these things through your hands, the masters have said, we all have this inside us. So the work for me in shamanic beauty, becoming your own shaman, is becoming your own guru, your own doctor, your own shaman of your soul. The shamanic, the beauty is your soul. It's the path in which you walk. It's the remembrance that you are connected to the Father Sky, to the Mother Earth, to all that is, and to reprogram what has happened to us as humanity as a whole, that we are thought that we are separate from each of us, and that we're also separate from nature. So I as I was talking before, getting ready to be on the show, so beautiful, that I have this course called the Sacred Soul Cleanse, and I am thrilled to be offering this, because what we need right now, more than anything, is to remember that we are all connected, even if we have different thoughts about things. We are all connected, and we need to have the empathy, the compassion, and the love so that we can stop the fighting and arguing that is literally happening globally, and it's hurting our souls. It's injuring us. And so I it was about 3 weeks ago, I asked my guides, I said, how can I be of greatest service? Like, what now? Yes, I'm doing all these things, but how can I be of greatest service? And I teach meditation. I went into my meditation and they said, gather 333, 333 people who will do this work. Why 33? Because it's the ascended master number. It is Yeshua, it is Kuan Yin, it is Buddha, it is Saint Germain. What they taught, forgiveness of self and others so that you can move into love. And that's the piece that we need to do, is to forgive all those things that happened, the abandonments, the bullyings. Because if you look deeper, and this is the ascended master work, they all did the things because it's the best that they could do. It's what they knew. And if you can forgive that, you forgive pieces of yourself. You begin to call back pieces of your soul to become whole. And then you go out and you help others. So this is the great work. We are healing the heart and the soul of humanity through this work. And it's called the Sacred Soul Cleanse. And I am keeping all registration open. We are at the 4 weeks until we get to the 333, and then we're going to carry it on because we're about a little more than halfway there. But working in numbers is so important because the collective changes the how am I going to call it? It changes basically the quantum physics, the mathematics of the heart. It's an actual thing. There are measured frequencies. I refer to this wonderful book, Power versus Force, Dr. David Dawkins. Incredible, where he measures the actual frequencies. So shame is a frequency. 20 it measures. Now, shame on you. You shouldn't have done that. You're not good enough. You can't do that. Stop seeing those people. Stop talking that way. Stop dressing that way. Stop doing that. Stop thinking you can do that. It brings the shame. We have so much shame on us as a collective. It's a 20. Love, right? 528. Look at that, 20 and 528. All in here. This is where we're moving to as well. The fifth dimension, the fifth dimensional aspect of who we are, which is where we balance male and feminine in our body as one. Notice when we come together in the prayer hands, we're bringing together the feminine and masculine side of the body to come into alignment. This is why this even happens. Because a lot of us are like, we just do it, but you never think, well, why do you actually do that? It's to bring together the both sides, and it brings you into a grounding focus. Of course, right here, the heart. The heart is the feminine aspect. So that Power versus Force is like an incredible book. The point is to allow yourself to release these soul pieces that have been injured so that you can help others who are injured, because we are moving as a unit, as one. And it is for us now to do that ascended master work, the forgiveness for everyone. So, yeah.
This is amazing. I mean, everything. I can listen to you talk for hours on end, I think, at this point. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
It feels so good, and so I feel alive and again reinvigorated when I hear and I hear these like words and conversations like this happening, because it just really informs me of the time we're moving into. Actually, before we move on, I wanted to actually throw a question at you from someone in the chat. Oh, I can't really see the question. Oh yeah, Donna. She said, is this why binaural beats can be helpful with meditation and easing anxiety in terms of frequencies?
Absolutely. Binaural, first of all, music alone, and great to get into the correct frequency of the music, because I will tell you, and being a musician is something that I've learned. But there was a very specific, and I'm going to say agenda, it was in the 50s, you can look it up, to actually detune music, to bring it to a lower frequency. Like whenever we were in the orchestra, and it's crazy because I played, you hear, if any of you been to the orchestra, all the instruments are, it's all over the place. And the conductor comes up and says, and everyone tunes to the A, the 440, right? And then the music begins. That was actually tuned down to a lower frequency, so that we responded to lower frequency music, as opposed to when you hear the East Indian music and you hear it's tuned up. It's not. So the binaural beats, yes, Donna, very good, because those binaural beats bring us to a coherent frequency that the body can begin to retune itself. When you hear the singing bowls, they're all, it's great. And all this sound, alchemy is so important. I have recently, I have to say, run into an amazing technology called the Rasha, and he uses 3 instead of binaural, 3 beats, because the 3 beats actually make a complete cycle, and it helps to bring the brain coherent. So there's all sorts of things. Yeah. But yes, long answer, yes.
Thank you for that answer. Thank you. Also, thank you for, again, taking up space in this magical and beautiful way. It's just so wonderful to see. Before we move on, because I think you're going to offer us a meditation before we move on into more work.
I would love to.
Please let us know where we can find you. As you also know, everyone, she's offering Soul Cleanse. So please get into this. It is so good. Let us know where we can find you and all the things, please.
Yes, I will. Okay. I will let you know now before we go into the meditation, so you can get just in the meditation. So if you go to at the official Phoenix Rising, maybe you can write that in the box, because I have a technology issue going on. At the official Phoenix Rising is my Instagram. If you click, I made it very easy in the bio. It just says the Sacred Soul Cleanse link tree. If you click on that, it goes right into the portal. I made it very easy as the Ascended Masters. I'll tell you what, when you get channelings and Ascended Masters tell you to bring a certain amount of people to do a work, you can't mess around. And then it becomes completely not about you, and you keep going, yes, yes, yes. So we're getting to this 333 number, very important, but they said make it very easy. The gift is $33 because everybody is to do it. And that's what they said, just make it easy. So it is the no-brainer. And normally I don't talk the monetary, but in this case, they're like, yes, let people know. So it's what it is. And the 333s and the 3s, they're angelic numbers. They open portals, and we are opening a stargate. So it's all being recorded if you missed anything, and we're going to move on to other work. So that is where you can find me, and would be honored to have all of this. I'm calling it the Divine Warrior Light Tribe. We have a Telegram page and all of that. Once you get in the portal, we'll send you everything. So yes, let's get into this beautiful grounding meditation. And I want to thank you for all you guys for creating this great portal and having all these people come in. It's just, this is the work that needs to be done. And I love that it's being done so beautifully. So thank you. So all of you, wherever you are right now in this now moment, probably best, I was going to say lying down or sitting up, but right now it's best sitting up, because in the grounding, you want to make sure that your spinal column and the breathing cord that runs the length of your spine is upright, because we're going to literally go into the Mother Earth. So breathing, your eyes closed, and just allowing yourself to rest, come into a silence for a moment. Just being with yourself. knowing that we are all connected on this call, and yet you hold your own part of this quantum field connected to everyone else, and yet it is your individualized expression of your soul, which is your body, it is your ego, it is how you decided to come here this time on planet to do your work. That is your body, your ego. And your body is made of the earth. We are the soil. We are the men and women. We are the children of the actual soil itself. Taking that deep breath in through the nose, just allowing the belly to rise and relax. And allowing the belly to fall in your own pace. Just breathing in and out. And as you breathe, just allow yourself to hear that noise in the back of your throat, that as you hear I'm doing, kind of moves that uvula in the back. Bring some rich air into that ujjayi breath that you do in yoga. In through the nose and back out through the nose. And if you will, allow your eyes just to float up, if you will, and back into your head, just stimulating the first eye, we will call it, which many of you know as the third eye. The first eye is your spiritual eye. It's in your pineal gland. It's in the middle of your head. Imagine and picture a ball of white and golden light sitting right directly in the middle of the brain. So I'm going to call it the first eye because it is the first eye that develops. It's the first part of you when you are in the womb that makes itself manifest. It's right there. It would be more apt that your physical eyes would be 2 and 3, but this is the first eye. It is what connects you directly to your higher self, to source, creating the conversation of truth, of love. So with the eyes rolled back, just gently stimulating that first eye, and taking that breath. Breathing into that first eye. And now what we're going to do is, while you just have your focus there, and you're listening to the sound of my voice, even though you're hearing it, just really notice that it is quite removed from your personal space. And you, surrounded in a golden bubble of light around your auric field. Just feel that. And what I would like you to do now is just to bring your focus, although your eyes are up and floating right in the back of the head, kind of like when you see the Buddhas where the eyelids are just slightly parted and your eyelids may be fluttering. This is where they're sitting. They're sitting in that spiritual eye. This is where the truth comes. The clear truth from the higher. But I would like you to focus now right at your bottom, at the perineum, at the base of the spine and lower, right in between that perineum, where when you squeeze, it's almost like you feel like you are, if you have to go to the bathroom, you squeeze, just like in yoga, and then you squeeze it and then you let it go. Just do that for me. Just squeeze it and hold your breath. And then let it go right in there. That's the base. Very physical, again, very somatic. It's your body. would like you to picture, visualize, and imagine a golden cord, like an umbilical cord, dropping. Maybe it's the size of a rope, or maybe it's a size of a piece of yarn, however you picture it. And I would like you to take that right there where you were squeezing and letting go. Drop it down below your seat, your cushion, the floor. If you were up high in an apartment, let it go rapidly all the way down into the base, into the root if you're in a home, right through the foundation, into the ground, and allow that golden cord to go down past the soil, the layers of the soil, past the tree roots, the groundwaters, crystals, all the creepy, crawling, beautiful insects and beings that make the soil fertile. The mycelium community down deep, the roots going deeper and deeper and deeper into the ground of that cord, deeper and deeper, passing through the layers, really allowing yourself to go picture, visualize, and imagine it going deeper and deeper. And knowing that as you go through the different layers, truly this is the historical Akash. It is where you have been. It is you. You are the soil. For many times in and out, you have left your body, your families, your animals, your civilizations, all within these layers. Down deeper and deeper, acknowledging yourself as your ancestors, going down, 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 down. And on one, even deeper, we're going to go right to the core. On 3, going down. On 2, 1 and 0, right at the core. The crystalline core. You are here. You are connected to the mother. You are grounded into the crystalline core of the mother. And this truly is her spiritual eye. The core, her beginnings, tied to you. Say hello to the mother. And before we continue on, there is a message for each and every one of you from the Divine Mother. Allow it to show up for you. For when you acknowledge her on this deep level, she is grateful. Feel where that is, where it shows up in your body. Her acknowledgement of you and the message. Staying deeply grounded here. And as you begin to breathe, your eyes open when you can. As we move into the next part of this beautiful Sunday workshop, each and every one of you, I am grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Phoenix. I'm just going with it, feeling the message from the mother. I am just gonna share what's happening for me physically.
Please.
I feel a deep sadness. I feel it behind my eyes. I feel it in my cheeks. around my nose, in my throat as I speak. I feel my heart racing. I feel called to share that I felt a line from my shoulder down through my heart, through my racing heart, and down through my perineum, and down into the earth, and down to the core, to areas that I'm afraid to examine. But I know that I'm gonna. And I've been feeling this pain, almost like numbness in my shoulder for weeks. And I know it goes through my heart. And now I have a little bit more of a map. And as I feel the flushness in my brain of fear, as I move into the next section, I know that I'm prepared. I know that I'm prepared, and that the messages sent me a preparation, so that even though I'm flush, I know that if I just follow the instructions that we prepared, then I can continue what you have so beautifully opened up for us. So Caroline, can you pull up the next slide so I could just read what we prepared?
I just wanted to say something very quickly, sir.
Yes.
It is the empathy of the actual Mother Earth and your shoulder. You've been shouldering, you've been holding, and it's on this side, your left, the feminine aspect. You've been holding that. This is the somatic, it's in your body, it's right there. And you just basically had Kundalini activation as you felt. And now you're connected. And I am so grateful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And everybody else, just drink some water actually right now, please. Let's just take a breath. We go into just kind of shake it off and in and just breathe. Yes. This is the big work because that's where she is. She has a lot of sadness. But we're here to conquer. Yeah. Okay.
So my intention at this very moment is to surrender, to continue to surrender.
Yes.
I don't even need the slides, but I do think it may be helpful for you all who are earlier on your journey into this work. The slides that we're going to show are of the 5 core emotions that we're going to use in the exercise. We're going to use a practice that for me individually really opened up through men's work. I'm so grateful that Lionel has joined to share in this experience with us. So the 5 core emotions which it helps to have a cognitive understanding of these 5 core emotions in order to listen to your body as a conduit to telling you what you are experiencing or what you might have experienced in the past. So the 5 core emotions, and if it's helpful to write them down so you can call on them through the exercise today, they are joy, fear, anger, sadness, and shame. And the reason why there are 4 here more difficult emotions we more associate with difficult emotions, these are because these emotions are rooted in our nervous system, in our body's natural ability learned over time to respond instinctively to try to protect us and keep us safe. And in the exercise, which we call Feelings Roulette, in which we're going to use the Actually Curious Happy Hour edition, we use the Actually Curious Happy Hour edition because these are questions that are intended to be happy. But as we'll experience here, and counting on the community, the collective, to illustrate this, each of these questions that we've pulled are likely to bring about different emotions for us individually. And we get to explore that together as the collective. And the way we're going to do that is I've selected questions that I think will have a range of emotions for us all. And for each question, we'll have someone from the community volunteer to come up to the screen and help us select one. The goal is to continue to keep this openness and connectedness to your body. And when you hear me read the question, instead of answering the question right away, connect to your body and share any physical sensations that come up for you, first and foremost. Some common places where we might be stimulated might be in our shoulders, in our spine, and up through our heads. Sometimes you might feel changes and sensations in your limbs, heat, change in temperature in your palms, perhaps, your abdomen and your chest. These are common places where we respond. Our throat, I see some folks already touching places in your body. I mean, these may be also cues to you that preparing to listen, preparing to be put on the spot already triggers some anxiety for you. So acknowledge that and honor your body for telling you that. Honor that so that you can also accept that and listen to what else comes up when you have the stimulus. So that everyone is getting a workout in the round. When the person selects the card and I read it, I want everyone else to first and foremost, like, close your eyes and go to the chat, or if you need to look when you type like I do, just start typing out what's happening in your body and just focus there. Isolate to your body for a moment and type out what's happening. And then when you're done, there's nothing else there. Try to pick from the 5 core emotions, or maybe they're multiple, maybe they're one, but pick an emotion that you can tie the physical sensation to. Okay, and by that time, it should be time for our volunteer to also give us an answer to that question and why that answer might have stimulated such sensations. So to get us started, I just need one volunteer to come to the screen and help us play Feelings Roulette by selecting a question. Who will be my volunteer? You could just wave at me. All right, Ian Alexander Richardson. Welcome to the Actually Curious community. Where are you calling in from?
Lebanon, PA.
Lebanon, PA. Got a lot of references to Pennsylvania. All right, well, thank you for helping us get Feelings Roulette started. As a reminder, You're going to stop me at a card. You're going to listen to me read the question, and then everyone is going to write in their physical sensations. My body's already a little shaky, so I'm going to acknowledge that. So you're going to do the physical sensations first and then label it with the 5 core emotions, which Caroline will put in the chat if she hasn't. Yep, nope, she already has. All right, Ian, let me know when you're ready and I'll start the scan and you'll tell me when to stop.
I'm ready. Stop.
Okay, our question is, who was your childhood best friend? Where are they now? Starting with the physical sensations out loud, Ian. Who was your childhood best friend? Where are they now?
Well, my heart's been. Oh,
No, you out loud, everyone else in the chat. Go
okay.
ahead.
All right. My heart has been pounding. But it's definitely slowing down. And a slight jitteriness in my chest.
Anything else?
No.
Okay. You want to label the emotions or wave of emotions for us? Joy, fear, anger, sadness, and shame. And everyone else, you want to label them in the chat as well?
Fear.
Anything else? Okay, so you said heart pounding and then it started calming down and then some fluttering and tingling in the chest. And you're labeling
Yes.
the fear. You want to answer and talk us through?
Well, my childhood best friend was a guy named Mark, and I do not know where he is now.
Okay. And what about the emotions? Why'd that come up for you?
Well, I was feeling that even before I volunteered to do anything, but I think that it might have been because of the way I was breathing, but then also speaking in front of a group of people as well. Yeah.
Anything tied to Mark?
Yeah, we did kind of like have a best friend breakup that was pretty sudden, even though this was back in like probably early middle school or something. But
So I'm noticing some like smiles and so some joy now. What's happening for you right at this moment?
this moment, well, my heart has definitely calmed down, and yeah, I also think that I kind of hide behind my smile a lot when I speak too. So that is something that I definitely do when I'm speaking, is I'll just like smile.
Got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well done. Thank you, Ian. So a little fear smiles too. It's really disarming and I could not tell. So well done. So in the chat, I saw a few different, I'll just go to some of the emotions I heard. So some shame, some sadness and shame, some joy and sadness. Does anyone who had a different reaction want to just like give us a little color as to why, what happened for you, just to help us get the most out of this one example? Because I think we only have time for one more. You could just take yourself off mute and add a little color for us.
I can fill in.
Okay, Donna.
I put in shame and then some sadness, because my best friend, I met her in kindergarten. Her name's Lynn, and she lives back where I grew up on a piece of property with her family. And like her brothers and sisters, they all live there. And Lynn and I were very competitive through high school. We were very, very close up through about 7th grade. And then when we got into middle school and high school, we got very, very competitive with our grades. And I just always tried to beat her and win. And that is so not who I am now. And in looking back on that part of my life, and even as I raised teenagers myself, it's not about winning. And I recognize my need to win, my need to be right. And I really trying to step away from that. And so that's why I feel some shame of how much that has influenced that has had on my life. And I really want to try to move more towards the joy and the love and the things that we were talking about with Phoenix. And so I think when I think about my friend, Lynn, I feel some shame for how I wanted to win. I wanted to beat her. And that really doesn't matter.
And Donna, thank you so much for sharing that. I'm curious if you could just bring it back to the loop for us and let us know where that showed up physically for you.
Sorry.
No.
No.
I didn't ask before, so I'm curious.
I felt it so much pressure and tension and tightness in my head, like the palate, the top of your mouth and my tongue and in my cheeks. And I think, for me, it kind of paralleled with that academic competition that she and I were in. Yeah. And so it was like right in my head.
Wow.
Not in my heart.
Wow.
Where it started. And that's, just kind of bubbled up as the shame.
Thank you, Donna. I know this perfection thing has been something that we've talked about a lot here. That was amazing. So everyone, just so you know, and I want to be cognizant of the time in case anyone has to break at the 3 mark. The reason we do this work is our bodies can give us signals ahead of time as to what might be coming up for us emotionally or what might have happened in the past. And the reason we do this exercise is the more we get into or strengthen our muscles, because we're not used to doing this. The more we strengthen our ability to do that, we almost we have the ability to immediately call on this knowledge when we need it, and do the reverse, or see what's happening physically, and maybe make some hypotheses of what's happening emotionally. So we'll do one more example. We have 3 quick announcements, and then an intention for the week, and then you're off the hook from your empathy workout for the week. All right. So who is going to lead us, help us advance in this second and final round of empathy feelings roulette? You just need a volunteer with your hand or the hand raise tool, and it can't be done. All right, Tierra Porterhouse. Thank you so much. Welcome. Where are you calling in?
Thank you. I'm calling in from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, the natty in the house.
Yes, sir.
All right, cool. All right, so a reminder to everyone, Tierra is going to be our roulette. I don't know, she'll pull the, I guess it pull the trigger, if you will, to get us started. The starting gun. I don't mean to bring gun reference. Whoa, okay, I'm stumbling. Here, I feel it all over my body. All right, And then we'll type in, everyone else will type in their physical responses as Tiara shares hers out loud. And then we will connect those to the 5 core emotions. All right, Tiara. Let me know when to start.
All right, start. Stop.
Our question is, everyone has a guilty pleasure and mine is blank, starting with the physical. What's happening there physically? I see a lot, but I want to hear it.
Tickled. But it got me right in the gut. Oh. And yeah.
You want to tie that to any of the 5? You have to tie it to the 5. That's the rules.
Let's see. Joy.
God, joy.
Yeah,
Anything
joy.
else?
Fear, anger, sadness, shame. Not shame. If I was to, you know what I'm saying, tell everybody about it, everybody's not gonna be, you know what I'm saying, too excited about that. But still, no shame. No shame.
All right, all right. Do you want to tell us what the answer is? I'm so curious. I'm actually curious.
It's my mind went straight to a sexual things.
I love that. That gives me joy to hear that you went to your dark side, connected to it with joy, and or maybe it's not dark side. I don't know why I labeled it that. Skip that. Skip that. All right, Tiara, well done.
Thank you. That was fun.
All right, so just by way of contrast, let's see what we had in the chat. We got joy at first and sadness at the last part, or maybe that was from the previous question. I get the fear smile sometimes. Okay, that's definitely from the last thing. I feel tickles inside. My body feels limp. Tightness in my neck and shoulders. Yeah, I thinky too. I tinkly too. But on my back and shoulders, that's so funny. Openness in my chest, sensation down my arms, joy. I love your openness, Tiara. Me,
Thank you, Doc.
2, 3, 4, and 5. All right. So we get the most out of this workout. Anyone who had some contrasting feelings or just some differing feelings, have some range, want to hop up and tell us, give us a little color as to what happened for you? I'm going to wait until someone hops up. Lionel, I'm calling on you.
Yeah, what are you asking about?
I want to know what physical sensations came up when you heard that question and what emotions were tied to it.
Yeah. Shame, fear, rejection, anger, and it's like I wanted to push it away. Don't want to engage with it. Certainly don't want to talk about it with other people. Yeah, kind of like my body recoiling.
Yeah.
And don't want to be seen.
All right.
Yeah, that's what came up.
I hear you, brother. Well, we ain't gonna push you any further than that. I can feel my chest. I can feel my temperature rising, and I'm proud of you for taking my impromptu prod and for joining today in this experience and for sharing what you shared. And you're being seen in the chat as well. Caroline wrote, relate to that, Lionel. All right, that completes our empathy workout for the day. Good job, everyone. Good job, everyone. You started somewhere and you took it to another place. And I hope this tool helps you to slow down and check in on stimulus as it comes your way, and see what your somatic experience may be from micro moments throughout the day. And I'm going to give us a couple quick announcements to look forward to over the coming weeks as soon as Caroline cues the screen, and then an intention for the week. First up is the Human Rights Edition. We've been building and will continue to build up until Memorial Day, the ceremonial anniversary of the loss of George Floyd, where we'll be releasing the Human Rights Edition. But right now and through till tomorrow midnight is the last chance to submit nominations for the Human Rights contributors, Human Rights Edition contributors. So Caroline, if you can put that in the chat and community, I'm counting on you all to help us with this last push of getting strong nominations. And then it's on Team Actually Curious to go out there and get them to contribute. Next week will be followed, a fact that I don't think Phoenix mentioned is that Phoenix is also grew up in the Jewish faith, and we're going to go a little bit deeper into how on Easter Sunday we're inviting Rabbi Karen to join us for the week, and we're going to explore our inner values, but we're going to do it while acknowledging the influences through our upbringing and through our society that has informed our values, just being present here amongst the collective. And then we're going to go deeper into the exploration of values 2 Sundays from now in amplifying our inner voice. Next week, teaser, we're going to unveil a digital app that Actually Curiosity Lab has created. So you'll be the first to test it out. And then we're going to work through our values together in a group values exploration in 2 weeks here, connecting to our somatic experience and working on our values together as a group. So I'm really excited for that moment together with you all and to see what comes up. And so with that, I'll leave us and close us out with an intention for the week, which I've actually unpacked as I do in a Medium article. So if you check out the Curiosity Lab Medium, we publish that every Sunday morning. And the intention for the week is, I am aware of my inner voice and I'm learning to be quiet so I can listen. So let that sit with you, whatever that means, and wherever you are on your journey. I'm continuing to try to learn new ways to get I out of the way so that I can listen. And with that, that brings us to the close. Thank you, everybody, for spending part of your Sunday afternoon with us and bringing your spirit and your contribution to this exploration of empathy. I look forward to seeing you in weeks to come.